The school suddenly broke out a virus of loss. The two girls in front of her just started to hold hands and say they want to be good friends for a lifetime. But the next second, one of them was suddenly pulled down the stairs by the loss. Help! Help me! Let me go! Let me go! The girl unhesitatingly kicked her best friend down the stairs. And because of such a delay, she couldn't escape the hands of the lost. Just now the awkward A-Xiao was lying on the stairs. He was depressed that his childhood sweetheart had run away. At this time, he suddenly saw a suspicious man at the door of the school, constantly knocking on the iron door. In order to show off in front of the female teacher, Mr. Nan picked up the other party with one hand from the iron door. As a result, he was bitten on the arm by the lost. The whole person fell on the ground and cried bitterly. In less than 2.5 seconds, Mr. Nan was completely cold. However, just when everyone was ready to check in, Mr. Nan, who had completely lost his vitality, opened his eyes fiercely. He bit directly at the female teacher's neck, and all of this was seen by the awkward A-Xiao. So he rushed back to the classroom immediately, ready to pull his childhood sweetheart Xiaoli out of school. But Xiaoli obviously felt bad about A-Xiao's inexplicable behavior. He thought he was being unreasonable because of the green thing. However, A-Xiao went up and was a big fart. Let him stop talking nonsense and go with himself. Seeing A-Xiao panicking, Xiaoyong was also sure that something big had happened. Then the three of them left the classroom in a hurry. In order to protect themselves, the three of them simply transformed the cleaning tool into a weapon. Xiaoli was going to call the police first to ask about the situation, but she was terrified to find that the phone had been broken. At this time, a sudden announcement was broadcast. A violent incident was taking place in the school. All students immediately followed the teacher's instructions to escape. However, it was only halfway through. Suddenly, a loud scream was heard in the broadcast. The students were shocked. It was just a moment. All the students fled to the door in panic. In order not to be dispersed by the students, A-Xiao and the three of them decided to reach the roof of the building first. However, at this time, the already mutated language teacher suddenly rushed towards them. Xiaoli didn't want to hit him at first, but in A-Yong's advice, Xiaoli, a member of the school's gun squad, directly pierced his heart with a modified long stick in his hand. However, before everyone was relieved, the teacher attacked again and threw Xiaoli directly on the wall. At this critical moment, A-Yong was in a hurry to hold the teacher and want to pull him away. But he didn't expect the other party to twist his head 180 degrees. He bit on A-Yong's arm fiercely. Seeing A-Xiao rush forward, he gave the teacher a fatal blow. Then the three of them came to the rooftop, but they found that the whole city had become a wasteland. Most of the students in the school became teachers. They kept looking for survivors to infect. In this extreme environment, people with poor mental endurance even choose to jump off the building to escape. At this time, the teacher had already come to the rooftop. In order to survive, A-Xiao and the three of them rushed to the top of the rooftop immediately and blocked the staircase with a table. This temporarily blocked the teacher's attack. But A-Yong, who was next to him, suddenly spat out a lot of blood. Xiaoli looked up. He didn't understand that he was just bitten. Why is it so serious? A-Yong knew he was infected. Before he died, he had only one request. That is to let A-Xiao push him down from the top. He didn't want to become a corpse. He spat out a big mouthful of blood. As time went by, A-Yong became more and more painful. In the end, in Xiaoli's fierce cry, A-Yong completely lost the breath of life. But A-Xiao made up his mind.